Hi, I'm Barry Conrad, and this is Banter with BC. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend. Whoop, bow.
And today I'm here with my guest, Tristan MacManus. Tristan, do you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah, hello. My name is Tristan MacManus. I'm a host for Network 10, and I'm delighted to be here for some banter with BC. I've got a hungry belly. It's going to be a good day.
It's going to be good. And to kick things off, we like to start with something called Two Truths and a Lie. Do you know how this works?
Yes, I do.
You're up.
Right, yeah. I'm a huge fan of your show. So
thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Right, so you know I've traveled the world an awful lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first truth.
Well, don't tell me.
Oh no, you have to decide.
Okay.
Is that actually, from all my travels, I've picked up a lot of languages on the way. So I'm pretty fluent. I say pretty fluent in 3 languages.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. My second truth is that I actually didn't start driving until I was in my 30s. Now a fantastic driver.
Okay.
Yeah. And my third truth is that I'm actually a triple or quadruple threat, as people would say. I'm a fantastic singer, and I used to be in a boy band in Ireland. 3 truths, or are they?
I'm going to say the lie is that you were in a boy band,
Right?
and the other 2 are true. Am I right? You started driving in your 30s, and
I did start driving in my 30s.
you can speak 3 languages.
I can't actually speak 3 languages. I'd love to, and I've always wanted to, because my wife, she's Australian obviously, but her father's Italian. I always wanted to speak Italian. I've got a few words. Her mother's Dutch. I don't have any. I will have 1 or 2 words in Dutch. I do speak Irish.
That doesn't count.
Of course it counts.
You're Irish.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
So that's your first.
Do you speak South African?
Ik kan praten Afrikaans. Heb ik hier.
I don't know what you just said there.
just said I
I
can
don't know.
speak Afrikaans.
You might have said no. I can't. I don't know.
You're yelling at me.
That's the Irish part. Yeah, no, I did. I went to an all-Irish speaking school where we learned all our subjects in Irish.
Right.
So Irish is actually, or Gaelic, Gaelga in Irish, is the second language in Ireland now. So English is actually the first language. So there's still areas in Ireland that are called the Gaeltacht.
Okay.
And there's still a few schools that teach Irish, and we all speak in Irish. But I went to an all-Irish speaking school until my last 2 years of school education. I was in an English school.
Okay. So I got it wrong pretty much.
Yeah, you got that wrong. Yeah.
And I said before this episode started, this is the day that I'm going to get it right, and Tristan just proved me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some more no gurney for that. Yeah.
No answers as well. no righties.
That was actually really good. That was good. I can handle spiders and snakes, but don't give me any rodents.
Yeah.
Terrified. I only started eating ice cream when I was 12 years old. And I once almost got taken out by a chopper that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was flying.
Oh, I wish that one was true. So there's 2 truths and 1 lie?
Yep. What do you reckon, Tristan?
It sounds so strange, but surely it would have to be the ice cream. You didn't have ice cream until you were 12 years old.
Which one's the lie?
I think that one is. I don't feel like you said you don't mind rodents, or you don't like rodents. You like snakes, you don't mind them, you just don't like rodents.
Snakes. I just,
yeah. You're all right with them.
Yeah.
Well, because everyone says they're all right with them. When was the last time you've held a snake?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying I hate rats.
all right. Okay. So you're the opposite.
I could deal with it. If I was in Sphere Factor, like, you lie on the
thing, yeah.
I'd rather take that than like...
Yeah, right. The jungle probably would have been a better reference. I'd just come out of it.
There we go.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that you definitely had ice cream before you were 12 years old.
What if it was a religious thing? What if my parents both didn't have lactose and we weren't allowed to have it? Is that a possibility?
Oh, that's definitely a possibility, yeah. I don't know if there's a religious thing, but unless you religiously didn't eat ice cream for a particular reason. I'm going to think that you have had ice cream, so that one was the lie. But I really want to know the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson story. But tell me first if I'm correct or not. Am I no grownies too?
You are correct.
You haven't had...
I did.
Yeah, you did. Of course you did. Yeah.
Damn it. I thought there would have been... Oh, okay. Obviously. I need to make these better. What do you think, Wes?
We weren't getting past like the fact that he's a parent. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
It was like there's more.
It's a rookie move.
Tell me about The Rock.
So I was in a film called San Andreas, and the scene is he's flying this chopper, and I'm running away from it, and it crashes into the store that I run in front of. So I don't know if I'm dead or alive, but it almost got taken out.
I'd say you're alive.
There we go. Yeah.
How good.
Let's see.
Sorry, this food is beautiful.
Right.
It got me distracted. The funny thing is, I actually was in a boy band as well when I was a kid. So there was 2 truths in there.
That wasn't in my research.
It's not in anyone's.
Okay, there you go.
It's not really in anyone's because it wasn't a very good one.
So what's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
I'm not the most spontaneous of people.
Really?
Not anymore, I don't think. No, I'm trying to think of stuff that I used to do. Spontaneous in the sense that when I was younger, we'd be out with my mates down the local.
Yep.
There'd always become a point of the night where we're kind of, our boots are filled.
Yeah.
And we kind of go, do you want to go into the city? And then we'd be like, nah, let's go to France.
That's pretty spontaneous.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, again, because we're from Europe, so
Yeah.
you can drive down to the bottom of Ireland, which is only even an hour and away, and you can get in the boat.
Good.
And you get the boat over to France.
Yeah.
So we've done that.
I mean,
Pretty
that counts.
spontaneous.
That's
But
pretty
then now I'm an adult and I have kids, so I'm not really as spontaneous anymore. Spontaneous, I suppose the most spontaneous I've been right now is when the food hits your belly wrong.
It feels really good.
That comes out of nowhere.
You get that, Australia? So you danced professionally on Dancing with the Stars in the US, Strictly Come Dancing in the UK, before becoming a judge on Dancing with the Stars Australia.
Yeah.
What was that decade, I guess, almost decade of life like for you?
Yeah, it was actually crazy times, to be honest with you. So I started dancing when I was pretty young, like I suppose 9 or 10 maybe. I came from a pretty rough area in Ireland. That's not really the thing to do, but my grandparents were social dancers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so my granny always wanted to dance, and she said it to my granddad, I suppose when they were in their late 50s, early 60s. She's like, I want to learn how to dance. And he's like, absolutely not. And she goes, well, I'm going to go with you or without you. And he's like, well, go without me then. And then she was like, right, well, I'm going to find someone else to dance with. And then he cracked it. So we went in, and then he fell in love with it.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
And had he danced before that, or was it just...
No, it was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he just loved it. I guess he loved the discipline of it. Mm-hmm. He liked the social side of it as well, which a lot of people do like, and absolutely fell in love with dancing. And they started competing.
Wow. Well, that's not quite social anymore. That's like...
Yeah, it went from social. You got a lot of friends in there, and they had their kind of dinner dances, which I suppose is the romance of the time as well. Yeah, they loved all those social nights. They got some new friends out of it, and then they took it that one step further and started doing competitions. Started traveling to the UK, started traveling to the States, and then when I was younger, my dad was in the army. My mum was working, so we spent a lot of time with our grandparents, and they started taking myself and my sister in to start doing dancing. Now again, going to dancing then wasn't really because we loved dancing. It was just that we went in with them,
right.
And it was something that we were put in, fell into, and I suppose being a boy doing it, there wasn't too many boys in there, so you got a lot of attention from people who wanted to partner up.
Yeah.
And that's always pretty cool, you know.
I mean, that's a win-win, right?
Yeah. So we started doing that, which led to us doing competitions and started doing well in them. And then I competed up until I suppose 18 or 19.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was mad. And then at that stage I was like, oh, dancing, I don't know if it's for me anymore. You know, it was a secret for a long time, and was something I was quite embarrassed about.
What was that?
Oh, but it's not really the thing that you do. I didn't like wearing South American clothing to dance. I just never got it, huh? Yeah. I didn't like putting on like makeup and stuff. Yeah. Looking back at it now, it obviously makes sense because there was lighting and whatnot. But at the time, it was just like, what am I bleeding doing this for? You know, why am I orange?
Yeah. That's funny.
I've never been to Cuba, but I'm sure they're not orange over there. So all that stuff was just like, oh, this is not really for me. And it was kind of one of those things where they're like, well, this is what we do and this is how we do it. So I just got embarrassed of it and kind of, I got to the stage where I was doing quite well in competitions, but when it came to going to the next step, I didn't have the drive in me to want to be better.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I just didn't see the point in it. I loved soccer, like football, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a professional footballer. I just didn't have the talent for it. But everything I had, I wanted to put into that. You know, and every day I wanted to be better at that and better at that and better. That's what my passion was.
Right.
Dancing wasn't my passion. It was just something that I did that I was good at. Yeah, so I got to that age and I was like, stuff this. I'm gonna leave. And I used dancing as an excuse for a long time because I was a bit rubbish in school.
Right.
I was smart, don't get me wrong, but I was just I was too social, and I liked talking to people all the time. I was always tired in school because I'd be up from the competitions, and I just had no interest. I didn't particularly like discipline at the time as well.
Yeah.
So I'd just be a little bit of a rat bag in school.
A little bit.
Yeah, well, a big bit, yeah. And I used dancing then as the thing was like, oh, well, look, I'm dancing, so I'm going to be a dancer when I grow up, and blah, blah, blah. I didn't believe it, but it was just something it was an excuse that I had. And no one could really doubt it because I was doing well. So 18 or 19 came along, and I was like, nah, this is not for me anymore. And I started just bumming around. Start doing different jobs. Again, I wasn't really reliable to anyone. I kind of have a job, but I'd show up every now and again when I wanted to.
Isn't it funny though that you can not be interested in something necessarily or passionate, but be really good at it?
Yeah, it's mad, huh?
Isn't that kind of like,
a lot of people.
Were you confused by that when that happened because you were really passionate about football I should say, sorry, football, but then you were dancing and really excelling in it, but it's like, I don't want to dance, this is not really the thing, it's not cool, like it's not, you felt embarrassed, but you're really good at it.
Yeah. Well, I think,
using my hands, by the way.
Nah, walk away. I think what happens sometimes is we don't, in everything really, we never really stop to think about why we're doing things and what we like about it and what we don't. It just becomes something that we do.
Right.
You know, and kind of, I never really thought about that. And then when I sat down and did think about it, it was just like, oh, like, why does that matter to me?
Right.
You know, and it's kind of, and at that stage in my life, I didn't have that pride in work ethic.
Okay, so you weren't as disciplined.
Yeah. What I have now as an adult is that whatever it is that I'm doing, I want to do my best at it.
Right.
And I have that pride. Like, it could be any sort of job. I want to do my best at it. Whereas before it was just like, this is just something to do.
Yeah.
You know. But what ended up happening was I gave up dancing for years, and like I said, I just started running around, putting weight on. You know what I mean? Just being a bit of a, what I perceive as being a loser. Having no direction, having nothing to do, not wanting to do anything, just kind of wanting to be one of the Jack the Lad, like, you know. And I started boozing up an awful lot. That was just my priority, was just having a good time going out with everyone. And then a dance show came to Ireland called Burn the Floor, which is actually an Australian show. Yeah. And that came to Ireland, and this was someone that asked me to go to, and I was like, what would I want to go to that for? I said, I don't like dancing. You know? Yeah. And they're like, well, just come and see it. We're all going to catch up. It'll be a good chance to see everyone you haven't seen in years. Grandparents were going to it and stuff. And then I went, and I absolutely loved it. And I don't know what it was about it. Like, it was all a bit weird and stuff, like, you know what I mean? But all the dancers were all different characters. Right. And I was like, oh, yeah, everyone doesn't have to be the same. And that perceived kind of what you had to be a dancer, that was completely blown, that myth that I had in my head. And it wasn't just a sexuality thing, it was just kind of like, well, why does everyone have to look the same? Why is everyone doing the same? Yeah. That bores me. And this was the first time I saw that type of dance, and there's different characters, individual personalities. I was like, oh, I could probably get behind something like this. Yeah. I don't know, it just seemed like it was for everyone. It wasn't for a particular set of people, which I believed before.
Wear South American orange, clothes.
Yeah, well, exactly, yeah. Like having to walk around like this all the time. I was one of those ones. Close up on that. And then, like people doing this all the time. Like, it just wasn't that. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I got in touch with them, and I said, what's the crack? I used to do this, and I used to do that, blah, blah, blah. And I still knew people who were quite influential in the dance community, I guess. And they put me in touch with people. And that show was like, well, we just cast our last cast, and then the show's going to go on hiatus for a couple of years. I was like, yeah, right on. So a different show, similar. I don't want to say not as good. It was just quite different. Yeah. It was more traditional, I suppose. And I thought, well, look, I've made the step now, And someone had heard that I'd kind of got in touch with them, so they gave me a contract, and it was in the UK, with the second half of the year in Vegas.
Wowzers.
Yeah, right. And I was like, geez, I've never been to Vegas before.
It's not bad.
So in my head, I was like, yeah, dancing gets me to Vegas, like, you know what I mean? And I tell you, I love Vegas, and I went to town when I was in Vegas. Yeah, right. But while I was in Vegas, that show went, oh, we're going to do another season. Do you want to be part of it? And then I got into that, and I toured the world then for 8 years with that.
It's amazing.
Which was mental. And I met some of the best friends in my life there. And randomly, I got sacked from that show.
How'd you get sacked?
Like I said, I was loose. And we were traveling around the world, and I was having a great time.
All right.
And I was going out, and I was doing this, and I was doing that.
Too much of a great time.
Too much of a great time. But again, I always did the show. I just wasn't progressing. A bit like my younger years, I wasn't getting better. I was just where I was, and my head didn't want me to get better. It just wanted me to maintain.
You were dialing it in, just like phoning it in. This is the show.
Yeah, I was showing up, and I was kind of like, this is what I'm different to everyone. I'm going to be different, you know. Yeah, maybe I'm not improving like him, but I'm different. I've got this about me.
I'm Irish.
It's like an ego thing that comes into it, I guess. So they had enough of it, and they went, right, we're getting rid of you. And they did get rid of me, but they didn't take me off the website. And then Dancing with the Stars were looking for dancers, and they found my face on the website and went, we don't have an Irish guy in here before. And then it was literally by chance.
That's so crazy.
So I went to do Dancing with the Stars in America. The first year, they created something called a troupe, which was 6 professional dancers who didn't have celebrity partners. We were just 6 professional dancers who danced together for musical acts in and out of ads on the show. And that was a foot in the door.
Yeah.
Second year on the show, they gave me a partner, and then it just took off from there. So it was kind of by chance, but I acknowledged that I had a little bit of talent there as well. I get that.
Well, obviously, if you were shit, you know, you wouldn't.
Well, there would be that, yeah. But then, if you're gonna acknowledge that, well, then you have to accept that when you're being left off, it's probably because you're also shit.
Don't you reckon it's funny though? Because a lot of the time you can think it can seem like, and I think that can maybe play into it. But if you hadn't done that show, that you were being loose on, you were still on the show.
Yeah.
It wouldn't get your face on the website.
Yeah.
Then by chance someone saw it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like so thanks for that show, right?
Yeah. This is beautiful, by the way.
Isn't it?
Yeah. That got to it, and then kind of the same kind of things kind of came in and out of my life in terms of when my head wasn't in it. I was quite self-destructive.
Why do you think that is? Like, where does that come from? Why? Because the opportunity seems like an opportunity of a lifetime. You're on TV, you're touring the world before that, you're, getting paid to do what you love to do. Presumably at the time you probably enjoyed it more than what you...
Yeah.
So then what was the thing that made you want to go, I don't really feel good? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know, and it's something that I still always question all the time. I mean, I'm clearly now, I'm more aware that I just didn't like myself at the time, which I think a lot of people go through. I just had a self-sabotage side to me.
Right.
And it was easier for me to lean into kind of drinking and going out and kind of going, oh, well, that's why I wasn't great today. Just in case everyone around here, because I feel like everyone around here feels like I'm not as good as everyone.
Right.
And the reason I'm not as good as everyone is because I was out last night and I had a great time. Remember we had a great time? I was having a great time. So we were all having a great time, and unfortunately I just wasn't great today. And I had an awful lot of that. And I think it comes from the fact that I didn't love what I did. I liked the things that came with it, but I didn't love what I did.
Okay.
And that in turn was a reflection of what I didn't like about myself. Yeah, and it's that same thing that everyone has in every scenario, the kind of imposter syndrome that everyone...
Yeah.
And that seems to be very broad now for an awful lot of people. So I don't know the crux of all that. But all I know is at the time I didn't like myself, and it was easier for me to wreck what I was doing than to have courage enough to move forward in it, I guess.
Wow.
It's bad, huh?
Yeah.
But I don't know where it comes from, because I feel like I grew up in a loving family who was very supportive in everything that I did. But it doesn't really matter who loves you if you don't love yourself, I guess, you know?
That's absolutely true.
I guess when you don't really understand what loving yourself means, that can manifest itself in just ego, and I'm great at this, and I'm good, and I'm better than this, and I'm better than that. And I was always afraid of that. I was always afraid of what people thought of me, and I think it comes from probably not fitting in. I have a lot of my friends are still my friends from when I was a kid,
which is good.
You know, with the same friends that I kept things secret from when it came to dancing and stuff. Same friends who kind of still support me to this day in everything that I do. But I still felt, you guys are there and I'm here because I do something that I can't tell you guys about, you know what I mean? And I'm good at it, and it won't be accepted. So I didn't feel part of that. And then when I was away, I didn't feel fully part of everyone that I was because you guys love dancing. I don't love it. We're just here. So I felt in the middle there as well.
Right.
You know, so I felt
I get
like,
what you're saying.
yeah, it was just weird, you know, and it's kind of a lonely place to be when you don't fit in. And I guess a lot of people have it in different kind of ways. And some people know how to deal with it and some people don't. And I just was one of those people who didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, man. So what's the biggest stereotype surrounding what you do, your work?
Well, I suppose in what I'm doing now, the biggest stereotype is that it's not real work, you know, and you kind of just flow in, you just read words. You know, and to a degree, I get it. It is that.
Yeah.
But it's like anything that you do. You don't see the work that goes in behind this, the research that goes into the people that you're going to speak to, trying to be different for people, to people, and from other people who do things, and just having a genuine interest in what people do. Like, yeah, I guess that's kind of what it is. Like, a lot of people think what you do is easy, and there's elements where you're trying to make it look easy.
Yeah.
But it certainly isn't. It certainly isn't. And kind of the feigned confidence that you have to have in what you do, people accept that as just pure ego, you know?
Right.
And there has to be an element to that. Like, everyone's like, just be confident. I was like, how can you tell me to be confident? Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying my best to do it. And that's what it is, but I'm just not confident. Give me the time to be confident. It's like, but there's no time to be confident. Just be confident. It's like, what's that even mean?
What does it even mean?
What does it even mean?
Be confident.
I will be confident if you tell me that what I'm doing is all right.
Yeah.
or tell me how I get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess there's an element to all that stuff where you kind of have to. It's like, do you want me to be like everyone else who's doing it? Because if that's what you want me to be, I can get better at doing that. Mm-hmm. But then the question is, well, is that what I want to do then? Or do I want to try do stuff the way I do it and then accept that some people will like it and some people don't?
Right.
People accept or assume that the sun's always shining and that you must be happy because you're on television. Uh-huh. People know your name. People recognize your face.
Yeah.
You don't deserve that money that you're earning and stuff. And people don't realize that this job is very difficult. That trying to find a job within this industry is very difficult. Trying to keep one is even harder. And then they don't see the kind of swings and roundabouts of everything. And again, you might be on a show which could be the highest rated show on TV, but it's only on TV for 4 weeks. What do you do for the rest of the year then?
Yeah.
You know, and you're kind of hoping that you get something, and then there's a lot of stress that goes into it, and everyone has stress in their lives. It's not a kind of woe is me kind of thing, but people realize that they have stress in their life. They have to understand as well that I have a different type of stress, and you have a different type of stress. Yeah. And people don't accept that. Maybe you just have to accept that when you're in the public eye. You kind of people will just take things out, and people need to vent. And if it's at you, well then just let it be at you. Once it doesn't, I don't know. It's a weird one to kind of.
It's interesting because what you're saying, like a lot of times people think because you're on TV or you're famous that they're entitled to have a go. Like, well, you signed up for this. Actually, no.
Yeah.
You don't sign in a contract, sign up for being, attacked.
Yeah.
You don't. But there's like this unspoken rule, like, oh, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Like, dig in, lay into them. But I totally understand what you mean.
I think I've been lucky in that, and I feel like I've been accepted by a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's like, I don't complain about people who don't know me not liking me.
Right.
Because there's people who do know me who don't like me.
That's my boy.
Yes. So I get that.
You can come in, George.
Thank you so much.
Cameo, George?
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
No gurney. Oh, I love that. No gurney. Cheers.
Cheers. Appreciate it.
Do you like this better than the?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Why's that?
Because all my fingers clutch.
Because before when he was holding the other glass, he was like that.
There's something about these where this finger pops out and then the straw. I think it's the straw. I don't think I've drank from a straw since I was a kid.
It makes you do it.
So I mean,
that's hilarious.
This one. But yeah. So that's just what it is, and it's kind of. I guess one of the huge things as well, having just done, I'm a celebrity getting out of here.
Yeah.
People think, well, you're not a celebrity. I was like, I've never.
Also, what does it mean now as well? Like, what is
no one knows what it means, and no one pays any attention to it. It's just I've been asked to do a show that I really like.
Yeah.
And I want to do it. This isn't, and although I'm saying the words, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, I don't actually believe that I'm a celebrity. It's just a job that I do, that I like, and that I use to support my family and myself and to try and live a happy life. But I also know that show's over now.
It's over now, so now.
It's over now, so now I'm no longer, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
Well, you're eating, so.
Just, yeah. I'm eating for free, I suppose.
You're saving up for when you can't eat for the next 6 months.
Exactly. Yeah. But certainly the stereotype behind the dancing, I mean, I think we all know that one.
Like
you know, and
your,
it's kind of
your sexuality.
yeah, that's sexuality gets questioned all the time. And again, growing up, that wasn't something that I was able to deal with. I had a conversation with Stephen in the jungle, who is openly gay and often came out the way he did, but that wasn't something that I was able to deal with when I was a kid. Being gay to me as a kid was the worst possible thing I could be.
Right.
And it's horrendous to say that, and it's horrible to say it. But as a kid, that's what it was. No one was gay where I came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had friends who were gay within the dancing community and stuff who I really, really liked. And I was ashamed to say that they were my friends. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's that developmental stage of your life. And unfortunately, you look back and you're embarrassed by things like that. But that is the stereotype that there is about dancers. And it's changing now, I guess.
Yeah,
you know, but still, if you look at every movie, look at every dancer. Look at James Corden, who came into that film as a choreographer, you know, and he's the campest guy you'll ever see in your life. Like, why does that have to be the case?
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Is that why you kept that a secret, and is that why you feel like you didn't love? Well, I don't want to like it because it's like, you know, maybe it's perceived as gay. You know what I'm trying to say? Does it have?
It was definitely why I kept it a secret. Yeah, of course, because I didn't want to get bashed, and I got bashed when people found out about it, you know, and I bashed a few people myself. But that's just the way it was, you know, because we didn't understand. And even that we didn't understand it, no one wanted to understand it. You know, but what I'm saying is, a lot of those were insecurities with myself. I'm sure if I came out at the time, I would have got bashed by a few people.
Right.
But I'm sure there's a lot of people who would have went,
even
yeah,
now,
right out.
too.
Well, even now, yeah, but I'm sure a lot of people would have been like, yeah, who cares? Like, that's just the way of the world. But when you don't feel confident enough to talk about these things and the things that you like, for me, I didn't talk about it, obviously because I was afraid to, but I didn't know what I liked about it.
Yeah.
You know, so why would I talk about something when I don't know how to talk about it even?
Yeah.
And who do you kind of, I suppose, confide in when it comes to stuff like that?
When your environment's not conducive to it, like who do you lean on? Who do you talk to?
Exactly.
You know?
So it's just easier to not talk about it. And like I said, I talk about it now. It's give a rat's now, like, you know what I mean? But again, that's because I'm more mature now and I understand why I like things and just what I try to instill in my kids. Whatever you like, know why you like it, and then don't be afraid to tell people why you like things.
Yeah.
I think we're all inclined to be sheep for a certain part of our life.
Okay.
And some people.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I think it's just easier to kind of go along with the norm or and it's just kind of innately, I think people are followers.
Yeah.
And there comes a point in your life where it might be a crossroads or it might just be a realization that I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to do what I want to do.
Yeah. It's what I'll have to do. This is what lights me up. So I'm going to do it.
Of course. And I think we're going that way in society now as well, where people are just kind of going, well, what do you think? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? This is what I think. And people are getting more comfortable with that. And there's going to be a weird kind of shift in it. But if you like something, just do it.
Just go for it.
Yeah, I think we're getting better at that. I like eating, so I'm going to eat a little bit more.
Yeah, you're doing awesome, by the way. What, didn't like that? Okay, so Tristan,
I don't know, I'm trying to be nice now with knives and fork and ribs.
You got to try that beer.
Are you on Uber Eats? Well,
You got to bring your family.
I will see you later then.
Yeah, I'm going.
That's beautiful.
So you're a proud father of 3. How do you juggle fatherhood and career? And what's the most rewarding part of fatherhood for you?
All I ever wanted to be was a dad. Why? I don't know. I think I like I said, I grew up in a very loving family.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to have. I strived to have a family like mine growing up. And I just always wanted kids. I just always wanted kids.
You just knew it. You just like, I'm going to be a dad.
I want to be a dad. I just knew that I wanted to be a dad.
Yeah.
The juggle is real for sure.
The juggle is real. Instead of the struggle is real, the juggle is real.
Yeah. That's good. And trying to find that balance.
Yeah.
It's difficult, you know, and it's hard with one kid. It's really hard with 3 kids. My career has been quite selfish in that sense since I met my wife, because my job has taken me everywhere. Tahina's come along for the ride everywhere, you know, and what that essentially has done is mean that she's had to take a back step in her ambitions and what she wants to do for a long time, you know, and then being pregnant, like I said, I'm not carrying a kid.
Yeah.
So I can do all these things. I can go all these places that she can't. And now Tahina's starting to get back into work now as well. I mean, she's always been working. She's always been producing stuff, but she's kind of, she's gone back into work hardcore now at the moment, and it's great. It's so great to see. So we've kind of, I don't want to say role reversal because that always gets taken up wrong.
Yeah.
But certainly there's more of a priority on Tahina's work now at the moment,
Awesome.
which means that I get to spend a lot more time with the kids. I do the drop-offs, I do the pickups, which I love.
Yeah.
I love getting them to their activities. I love talking to them about what their interests are. You know, I love finding trying to see where they get their inspirations from.
Right.
And just kind of seeing what they're like around each other. It's awesome. It's awesome. I feel like my personality has very much been influenced by the characters who raised me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's yeah, I like that when I see my kids. I like that my kids like themselves. You know, I like that they're confident in what they are. I've struggled an awful lot about not feeling like I was enough for my whole life. That's a huge responsibility that I take very seriously, that I want my kids to know that they are enough in everything that they do. I want them to be responsible. I want them to make their own decisions on things. I want them to be confident enough to make their own decisions. So I guess I like the responsibility of that, of being a parent.
It's awesome.
Of raising good people who are kind and treat them better than yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Don't do that. No, be your best self.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But be kind to people.
Yeah.
You know, don't kind of bow down to people. Just help people where you can.
Yeah.
And I think one of my kids, all three of them, main characteristics are that. They're friendly, approachable kids. They have smiles on their face. They see the best in everything. And I don't want that to be kind of affected in any way by negativity around them.
It says a lot about you and Tahina, though, doesn't it? The way you raise them.
I think so. And look, life is life. You know what I mean? You can't do everything for your kids. They have to make their own mistakes, and kind of that innocence is going to be taken away from them through society. You know, but I enjoy trying to give them the tools to be able to deal with that. Also knowing that my parents gave me the tools and I didn't know how to deal with it. So that's the struggle.
Have any of them got the dance bug? You know, like the performance?
Yeah, Echo for sure, my daughter. Yeah, she's 8 now. That's all she wants to do. She wants to go Bread Street. She wants to be a superstar. She went through a stage where she wanted to be a scientist. She was going to move into a science house next door.
That's funny.
Yeah, but she wanted to live next door. At the start, I was allowed to live with her, and then I wasn't allowed to live with her because of the science.
That's so cute.
Now she just wants to be a singer and a dancer and kind of a performer.
Are you happy with that? How do you feel about that?
It's my responsibility to support my kids in what they want to do and make sure that they have a backup.
Contingency.
You know, yeah, it's one of those things. You never know with stuff. If it's going to be a moment in time, if it's going to be forever. I don't know who we are to put someone's candle out.
Right.
You know, so yeah, we have to raise kids with the right characteristics and whatnot, and kind of teach them that it's important to know how to do this, and it's important how to. If you want to do that, you can do that. But we have to find the time to do that around all these other things, the building blocks that you need.
It's great.
So it's I've had teachers in school who told my parents to take me out of dancing, you know, for years.
Really?
Yeah. And they didn't, and I'm glad that they didn't, because everything that I've done has led to where I am right now.
Exactly.
So for sure there might be things that I change or wish did differently, but yeah, it's my job to be a parent, not a friend, but it's also my job to not put someone's candle out.
I love that. And put someone's candle out. That's great. Which actor would play you in a movie about your life?
I would like McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
You know what? That's actually pretty. I can see.
Not for any other reason. It's not like I don't think I'm Matthew McConaughey, but I just love him.
Yeah.
Realistically, it'd probably be Woody Harrelson, but
Who's else?
well, it's just
Flash those two photos of the
well, they're very similar, and I feel like they're brothers. I feel like I've heard the conversation where they're brothers. Yeah. Something that I think their parents were at different times smashing each other or something like that.
Maybe.
But I think they're related somewhere down the line. But
pretty. I mean, they have sort of some similar like larrikin kind of vibes to them. But Matthew's kind. I mean, I like his like the way he talks as well. It's like so.
I love his book. I spoke to Matthew McConaughey on Studio 10.
Did you really?
Yeah, I spoke to him
awesome.
when his book was coming out first.
Yeah. The green lights.
Green lights,
yeah.
And no lie, I've read that book about 6 or 7 times. I just love it.
It's that good.
Yeah, and when I got a chance to talk to him on the show, he done a film called Rain of Fire, in my town at home. One of my best friends was a stunt actor on it.
Sick.
And he always talked to me about him, how cool he was and this and that, blah, blah. So before the interview went live, I was talking to him about this time. He was talking about the town that I lived in, talking about what he remembered of it. And then we got talking about football, and he's one of the owners of Austin FC. They hadn't come into the league at this stage, but I knew they were coming in.
Yeah.
And he's like, how'd you find out about that? And I just told him about working on the A-League here and about my love of football, so we got talking about that. And then we started talking about his book, and he was absolutely golden.
So
just a genuine, decent guy. Whether he was just coming across that way because he was on TV or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was a really good guy. And he's cool. People like him. So of course you're going to pick someone like that,
So good.
You're not going to say like George Costanza is going to play in the film. Maybe he would. I'm sure there's someone else who looks more like me. But I'd like, I think I got McConaughey,
I like it. It's good.
And then you want someone who has a better body than you as well, so you can kind of go, yeah, it's about right.
Is it After the Jungle? It's all kind of going.
Yeah. I got Paul Rudd a few times. Do you think I look like Paul Rudd? But
I don't really see that. I mean, you both have brown hair, but I mean that's it, right?
I think that's where they stopped. Yeah.
What are you not very good at?
Loads of things. I am very stubborn.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm one step away from failure in everything that I'm doing. So when something happens, I get quite defensive about things.
Give me an example.
Don't like taking the blame for anything. I always think it's someone else's fault.
I'm not saying sorry. It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything wrong.
I didn't even do that. That was you.
Yeah.
No.
Oh wow. Like with everyone, or just like people close to you? Oh wow. Okay. The night is still young. You never know what can happen.
No. I'm getting better at it. That's what I'm saying. With when I was in the jungle, then, so I just keep sliding in the chair. All I had was time in there.
Right.
I just had time. I had a complete disconnect from everything and everyone and social media and this and that. So I had a lot of time to reflect on everything. And I realized that my stress was taking over my life an awful lot, and how I react to things wasn't the right kind of way. So that's something I'm not good at. It's something I'm getting better at, and it's something that I've acknowledged now, and I'm trying to get better at. In how I react to things and not being so impulsive when I react to things. I'm not good at that. I'm pretty impatient when it comes to things.
Same. Can be super impatient.
Yeah. If I think of something that I want to do, I wanted to do it then. Yeah, which is just a pain in the arse kind of thing, more than anything else. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, look at this. There's loads of things. Loads of things.
Let's write a book about it.
Yeah. I'm shit at having like a hairstyle that works. Because when you work in TV, you come in and like, people are like, how do you want your hair? I was like, don't know.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Make it look
do
good.
what you have. What type of things do you need? I was like, don't know.
Don't you have like
What clothes you want? I don't know. I'm really bad at that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going like, this is the kind of look that I want, or here's a... No? It's,
one thing I always found weird, like when you go into the hairdressers, I don't even do it anymore, but they'd have the book, and you go, I want to look like that.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't look like that. First off, their hair's an awful lot longer than yours.
Yeah.
Plus, it just will not work.
Yeah.
I always found that real weird. So when people go, how do you want your hair? I was like, I don't know, just do, you know.
What if it's too long? It's like, don't you say, I want this much off, or you just say, do whatever?
Just do
Come
whatever.
on, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
You got to know what, especially your hair and all that.
I don't know how to deal with stuff like that, so I'm just like, this is what you're trained in that. You do whatever you need to do.
You do your job.
Yeah. Right? And if it goes wrong, it's a self-sabotage thing.
Yeah.
If self-sabotage goes wrong, it's like, what did you do?
So by the time you were 36, you experienced 2 heart attacks.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that's like. You've since been diagnosed with myopericarditis, which is the inflammation of the heart muscle.
Yeah.
And the pericardium. And so how does that affect the way you live your life today?
So I had 2 heart attacks. Yeah, it's the kind of, in footballing terms, it's the hat trick that I never want.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I had one when I was in my mid-20s when I was in Vegas. Basically, my grandfather, my dad's dad, died from a heart attack when he was 36.
You're right.
Which is the age I was when I had my second heart attack. But so I have heart issues that I've been living with, but more so what it was growing up, I never looked after myself. You know, like if you're kind of playing a lot of sport, you got injured, you just keep going. You know, you don't kind of whinge about stuff. You don't get sick, you just keep going. You just work through things. And what happened at the first heart attack, I was coming off the back of the flu, wasn't sleeping. I was just partying an awful lot. I was going out an awful lot. And then I came on stage to do a show in Vegas, and I'd done the first number, and I started losing my breath. And I thought it was just from the night before. So I ran into the bathroom to splash my face with some water, and then I woke up and I was on the ground.
Wow.
So I'd blacked out.
Right.
And they took me to the hospital over there, and then it turned out that I had like pleurisy and myocarditis. I've talked about it before. It was at a time where I wasn't particularly happy with who I was and where I was, so I didn't really care how that one ended up.
Really?
Yeah, and it's kind of sad to think about it now, but it was something I was like, yeah, well, if this is what takes me now, like, who cares? Like, I was just really unhappy at the time. I didn't like myself. I was in Vegas, you know what I mean? I was living the dream here. Yeah, I was having a great time, but I just wasn't happy with myself. To the point that I don't even remember how that resolved itself. It just did, you know? After that, I went back to London to work in the West End for a while, and I was getting a lot of pains in my stomach for ages, and I couldn't think what it was, and I kept going to physio, who said I'd strained my abdominal muscle.
Yeah.
For ages. So I was still doing the shows through that and whatnot, but I just kept going. I finally got in to see a doctor. He told me that my appendix burst in my stomach.
You're right.
So they rushed me in to have emergency surgery on it. I checked myself out of hospital, went back to my apartment, collapsed in there. I was only one of my mates came over to see me, found me on the floor, brought me back in. So that was the second time I nearly died. And then the third one was when I moved to Australia, I got sick again. And I was coming to the last couple of days of having the flu again. And usually what I'd always done was at the very end of it, I'd go for a run and I'd sweat the rest of it out of me, and I'd be golden. And on this particular day, it was just a really, really hot day. And I was playing the football match, and I'd done a couple of sprints early doors, and I thought, geez, I'll finish there. And then my head went all dizzy, and my arm, I could start feeling my chest really just twist and tighten up, like most people say. And I start getting worried then. And I could see the spots and everything like that. And I thought, oh, geez, I need to get out of here. I had to get my jersey off me, and I pulled my jersey off just to try to cool down. Yeah. And then I just literally start walking through the game. I kind of like what you see in films when people leave the body and they just kind of flow through stuff. I vividly remember that happening, just walking through everyone. See the ball coming past me and whatnot, just trying to punch it out of the way and blah, blah, blah. I remember people shouting at me, going, what are you doing? In the corner of my eye, I saw Tahina coming in with Echo on my door at the time, so I started panicking then. Yeah. I tried trying to put my jersey back on and put my head in the sleeve. Put my head up in the sleeve and everything. You know, and I kind of I somehow managed to pull myself together in fear. And like I said, my life didn't flash before my eyes, but my daughters did, and it kind of really scared me. To the point that when they came in, they were like, what's wrong? I was like, no, everything's fine. And they were all telling me, you need to go to the hospital. I was like, no, everything's fine. I didn't want anyone around me to talk about it in front of Tahina and Echo. They had to. Someone came over, the paramedic, and said, you have to go up to the hospital to check this, blah, blah, blah. It's an insurance thing or something like that. Yeah. And I went up, and then, they said I had myo and pericarditis, which is the muscle of the heart and the sac that the heart sits in. And there was inflammation in both of them. And the numbers were all kind of heart attack indicators as well. Wow. And that one, I think because I kind of snapped myself into it and I was scared, it hit me differently emotionally. And again, I had responsibilities then. I had a wife, I had a kid, you know. And I always remember it was through the night, I rang one of my friends at home. I said, yeah, I'm after having a heart attack. It was the first time I said heart attack. Right. Everyone else around me was saying it, but it was the first time that I'd said it. And it just broke me then. Like, you know what I mean? First
giving words to it, like.
Yeah, putting words to it and going, fucking hell, what am I going to do here? You know, so after that, I guess I changed my life an awful lot. Like, you know what I mean? I kind of stopped drinking as much. I stopped smoking. Do you know what I mean? I stopped doing that. I started getting more sleep. Real kind of like granny stuff. You know what I mean? Went to bed early.
Just on the granny.
Had dinner at 5 o'clock. Yeah. You know, just weird stuff. Yeah. Just kind of but it really did kind of affect my life. But not so much now to the point that like I don't have to take tablets or anything like that. I kind of have my checkup just like most people. Yeah. And I encourage people to have their checkups all the time. Yeah. But I just kind of listen to my body a little bit more now, whereas before I didn't care, so I didn't. You know, and I think it's just important. I think what happens is there's a fear for everyone. Right. Of what news they might get. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, because we always think the worst. But the worst thing we could do is not go and get checked. Because imagine just one day just carking it because of your stubbornness. And because I'm a stubborn person, that's what my fear is. So I make sure that I get all checkups when I need to.
Do you have to go every certain amount of?
No, I don't.
Just whenever
I don't, but I do. Any time when I feel, and again, you know, you work out and stuff as well. Sometimes you just get muscle tightness, you know. But muscle tightness for me is something completely different because I get worried by it. Right. You know, and now I've got 3 kids and a wife, so I'm important in people's life.
Sure,
you know.
Well, that's good.
So a couple of kind of near deaths. Mad, huh? I slept through 9/11.
You slept through it.
I moved to New York September the 10th, 2001.
What were you doing the night? What were you doing that night before that made you just sleep all the way? Like what? Were you?
I got a blade. Yeah, I was living in New Jersey when my grandparents were over there, and one of their family friends had dropped me up to New York because I was having a tryout with a Russian girl over there to dance with her.
There you go.
So we were dancing for the whole day, and then she was downtown, and I was staying with her for the night, and then. Yeah, I woke up in the morning, people banging on the door going, I don't know what's going to happen. I was like, what are you talking about? Didn't even know. And then look, like it had cracked some of the windows and I hadn't even heard that. Like, you know, it's mental.
So you were out.
Yeah.
You were out.
So I've had these loads of real weird kind of life and death situations that happened through my life. None of them really faze me anymore. It's mad.
It gives you like an appreciation for life now, though.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think you kind of have to. You know, it's so easy to just kind of float through your life thinking everything is horrendous. You know, and again, when you kind of stop and see who's around you and what you're kind of doing, you know, it's kind of celebrate the little things.
So good. Let's cheers to that.
Yeah,
no bronies.
No brownies.
So you just started like an awesome time in the jungle. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. What was that whole experience like and what drew you to it? What made you want to do the show?
What made me want to do the show was because I didn't have any work.
Fair.
You know, but more importantly, it was a show that I was a big fan of. It's the one show my daughter's allowed to stay up late to watch. Yeah. And it's become this thing that we watch together. So when they asked me to do it, I really wanted to. Yeah. You know, and I wanted to experience something new. It's kind of in parenthood. You know, you spend so much time making the kids a priority. The kids will always be a priority, but everything you do is for the kids. Do you know what I mean? And you kind of don't really do anything for yourself anymore. Yeah. You know, and I felt like I needed to do something for myself, which in turn I felt would benefit. It sounds selfish, but I felt like in turn it would benefit my family. So when we went in there, the reason it did is because it gave me a complete disconnect from everything. From devices, from responsibilities for a little bit, I guess, you know, but more importantly to get everything in order in my life. I didn't realize how stressed I was before I went in there. Really? And as individuals and as parents and as families, and I feel like the thing we lack so much is time because we fill it with all stupid shit that we don't need. Like, you know what I mean? The time we sit on our fucking phones looking at stupid stuff and just scrolling. And we all say, oh, I'm gonna stop doing that, and we never do. Like, you know what I mean? I sit down and watch television for hours and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So being forced to eliminate that was exactly what my head needed, you know, and I got a better appreciation for everything that I had around me. I missed everyone so much more. You know, I reflected on the things that I don't do good enough at home that I wanted to do more. And what it really did is it gave me time to learn how to converse again, which sounds silly because I interview people for work. Right. But I think when you're interviewing people for work as well, you're time restricted. You know, when people who are coming on the show are coming on to deliver a point about something or a message about something or to spruik something or whatever it is, and you kind of go, right, well, now you have 2 minutes to talk to these people. So you actually can't have a conversation. It's just like, tell me the answer to this question, or you tell me what you need to say here, and then we'll get on with it. So you have to really learn how to converse with people again. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed being around diverse people from diverse backgrounds and trying to find out why we're different, you know, and kind of, and actually making people accountable for the things that they're saying, you know, because I think what happens now is it's just easier, certainly online, But even the way we talk to people now, you kind of, all you need to do is say one word that doesn't sit right in the ear, and then you're a this or you're a that, and you're prejudiced this and you're this and you're a fucking asshole and you're blah blah blah. And kind of, I think because you have so much time in there, and everyone does, you really have to talk through things, and you have to learn the right conversations, and you have to be accountable for the words that you use as well, and why they're so offensive. And you need people who are open-minded to be able to have that conversation. I think now we just talk at people, and in there I got a chance to talk to people, which was great, and I needed it, and it kind of gave me a nice refreshment when I came out. I got to challenge myself in there as well. I got to do a whole bunch of stuff that I've never done before, probably never do again.
Like what?
You know? Oh, well, just eating shit. You know? No, but also the challenges, like, you know what I mean? I like that adrenaline buzz that you get from doing the challenge. I like putting myself in awkward scenarios and seeing if I can get through them, which I did. But most importantly, like I said, I think what it did is it just gave me time to reflect and time to breathe. And I felt for a long time I've been under so much pressure, like everyone, of mortgage and where's the work going to come from, and now what are my kids going to think of me if I'm not working, all this stuff. I just needed time to just breathe, and I understand it was a luxury to be able to do something like that gave me that opportunity, because I know a lot of people don't, and I think if people could somehow find that time, it doesn't need to be a long stretch of time, but if you can find some time for yourself, so everyone's always saying it, we always go, yeah, I'll do that next week, or I'll do that, blah, blah, blah. So beneficial.
Awesome. Love it. That's going to add so much value for people watching. We just had someone on the show, Nari. She's a singer-songwriter, and she talked about this as well, just self-care. It sounds like woo-woo to say that to a lot of people, but it's the inside out. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And you know. Like,
that's it. It
changes everything.
I think it's because it sounds like hippie talk for a lot of people. Like, you know what I mean? And people are afraid, like, oh, that's not the real world. And there is an element of toughen up. I get that when people say it, but there's a huge spectrum of what that means, and people are getting lost in the fact that, well, you're either you're woke, you know, or you hate. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there's definitely something there, but no one's willing to work on things. No one's willing to communicate with things, because to do that you have to be accountable, and people don't want to be accountable anymore. And be honest. And of course, and I'm sure there's elements in my life where I'm not accountable as well. I'm just saying this is something that I've reflected on, and something that I want to get better with. But unless you want to get better in anything, you're not going to. So good. Awesome. So that's what I'm trying to do a little bit more. That's right.
What life challenge are you most proud of conquering?
Life challenge I'm most proud of conquering is it's good, huh? Finishing that food. No, I guess it's just finding what I like about myself. You know, because I love that. Because I'm trying to, like I said, tell the kids, instill in them confidence and kind of self-worth, and it's just hypocritical if I don't think of myself. You know, so I'm trying to find those things. It's very easy for me to go into my head and go into that dark place of I'm picking out the reasons why some people won't like me. And I think we all find that quite easy. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if you're going to do that, well, then you have to point out the good things about you as well. And sometimes we just stop after the things we don't like. So I think that is the biggest life challenge that I strive to conquer all the time. There was a long part of my life where I hated myself. Yeah. And I'm living through a life right now where I like myself.
So you've openly talked about past struggles with alcohol. What is your view now of alcohol, and how did you overcome that time? For you?
I feel like, I mean, look, I don't drink as much alcohol as I used to, and I have a better relationship with alcohol now. Like I don't fear it anymore. I mean, I feel the hangovers, don't get me wrong. But that's what it mainly comes down to. My life is so busy now. The thought of having a hangover in the morning, I just can't deal with it. And I don't want my kids to be around that part of me. That's who I was, and I had a great time doing it. This is all that a lot of people say, oh, you must be like ashamed of it and stuff. It's like there's an element of that in it, but at the same time, I loved the time that I had there. That's why I was getting a particular way. Like sometimes I was drinking because I just needed to feel something, and then sometimes I drank because I didn't want to feel anything. Like, you know, I get the spectrum of that. But no, I have a healthy relationship with alcohol now. I could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
You know, and I know a lot of people aren't privileged to have that. You know, like I can have a drink, and sometimes I'll get the taste and go, oh yeah, it's on now, and sometimes I go, I can't even finish that.
Yeah, right.
You know, and I think that's what I have to acknowledge, is that that's not a choice for a lot of people.
Some people have to go cold turkey because then their life is destructive with it.
Yeah.
And some people can learn to find like maybe like a medium.
A medium, yeah.
A happy medium.
I've always been good at going cold turkey on stuff.
Yeah.
Which is strange because I have quite an addictive personality when it comes to certain things.
Like what?
Oh, well, just when I do anything, I'll go all in on it. But even going out, you know, if we went out tonight and had a great night, I want to go back out tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
You know, and then I'll go back out the next day until it's run its course. Like,
yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? I used to go missing for days, like, and have a great time. But I was always living for stories, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
But like I said, the big thing with the alcohol now is that I'm actually I feel like I'm a different person now, and it's a person who I like. And alcohol plays a part in that, but not all of it.
Right.
You know, so what booze always did was it clouded my thoughts on things, and it eliminated the time that I needed to actually reflect on who I was and who I wanted to be.
Right.
And it gave me a reason to not think about it. You know, so I don't have time to think about this. I'm too busy having a good time right now. Yep. You know, so like I said, I can only speak for myself when I'm talking about alcohol, and people might listen to it and kind of go, oh yeah, I get that, but that's not to say that that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's journey is different, like, you know what I mean, but I feel like I'm lucky that I have a different perspective on what that is now. I don't know how I got through it. All I know is that I like who I am now, and I didn't then.
It's a good place to eventuate.
Yeah. I think you need to be lucky to find someone around you who sees you as you want to see yourself, and it only needs to be one person, you know, or you just need. It needs to be someone who's positive, who will say, not passing responsibility, but sometimes people are saying positive things around you all the time, and you don't listen to it. Yeah. You know, and people can't fix things for you. They can help you, but you have to fix things. I think just really taking a step back and looking who's around you and who loves you. Yeah. And kind of being okay with kind of going, look, right now I'm not looking for any answers. I just need to say what I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay. So being confident, kind of going, I need help. Can you help me with this? Or I don't need help. I just need to say this, and just listen to me. Please don't try and help me with this.
Just be there.
Yeah, just be there, because it's too much responsibility for the person who's listening to you, and for yourself. It's too much to put on people.
Thanks for sharing, brother. That's awesome. And to finish things off, I'm going to hit you with some fast trivia. You ready for this?
Yeah.
You like games, right?
I've done pretty good at trivia in the jungle, but
okay, here we go.
Was this quick answers? Quick fire?
Question number 1.
Right.
Ogham is an old Irish script also known as what alphabet?
Ogham writing. I've got Ogham writing on me.
Yeah. What's the alphabet?
Alphabet?
What's it known as? It's the fill in the blank, the something alphabet.
Oh, I wouldn't even know. They get anything one?
Celtic tree alphabet.
Oh, the Celtic tree. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, the Celtic tree alphabet. All right, I didn't know that. Yeah. Ogham writing. Yeah, that was the first type of writing. It's all upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Which Scottish professional dancer is considered the Michael Jordan of ballroom dancing?
Scottish?
Yeah.
Danny Burns?
Yes, you got it right.
The Michael Jordan that dancing? Yeah, right up. Who told you that? He said that, did he? He probably said that, yeah.
Which mountains are the largest area of continuous high ground in Ireland?
No. Sugarloaf.
The Wicklow Mountains.
Yeah, that's where the Wicklow Mountains. Sugarloaf, yeah. That's where I'm from.
Correct. Who did you dance the cha-cha with to the song Best of My Love on Dancing with the Stars?
Glasgow.
Yeah, correct. And last but not least, which football team's anthem peaked at number 10 on the UK singles chart?
Leeds.
Got it.
Marching on together. Yeah.
Tristan MacManus, thanks so much for coming.
My man, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
It was great banter with BC.
Yeah, awesome, man.
If you love this episode of Banter with BC, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.